I'm going to do a quick hit, and then we're going to bring in Kelly.
Yes.
My quick hit is Time Bandits. I don't want to give anything away because the ending is actually crazy.
Is this the first time you've seen it?
This was the first time I'd seen it.
Really? The ending is batshit.
The ending is out of this. Like I had it spoiled not like 12 hours earlier, which was why I finally decided to watch it.
Okay.
Because this has been on my watch list for a while. So this was finally like, okay, well, if that's the craziness of the ending, then, I got to see this firsthand and get the context for it. And I got the context for it. I was like, yeah, that's fucking crazy. It was an interesting movie. It was always fun to go into a Gilliam movie without knowing it's a Gilliam movie. And you're just kind of like floating along and you're like, yeah, this is weird. And it gets weirder and weirder. And you're like, huh, okay. And then Kelly looks it up and is, oh, yeah, of course it's a fucking Gilliam movie. Of course it is.
Yeah.
That's why so many Monty Pythoners are here.
Dude, this cast is ridiculous.
It's insane.
Ridiculous.
It's insane. And it's that weird middle ground of, are there any heroes in this story? I guess the kid he's not even a hero. He's just kind of there for the ride. He gets jerked around by these dwarves. There's all this back and forth nonsense and craziness. All this pseudo-religion that isn't religion but is religion.
And the visual style is so Gilliam.
And it's just interesting watching Terry Gilliam make a kids movie, because there's nothing in this movie that you couldn't show kids. But like
the
ending's weird.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, that might freak my kids out to see that as the final scene of the movie.
Well, like, the thing that I didn't understand is the event happens. I don't want to ruin it. The thing happens, and the boy is surrounded by people, and nobody reacts to it. No. And so I'm just like, did it happen? Is it still happening? Did it not happen? I'm deeply confused. But that's Gilliam. That's what you get when you watch a Gilliam movie. We watched The Man Who Killed Don Quixote.
Oh, yeah.
And that was another one where I just got most of the way through and I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking crazy pants. What the hell is this nonsense? Yeah. So, always interesting to watch Terry Gilliam stuff. I gotta go back and watch Brazil for the first time since I saw it.
I would say his most coherent and maybe only coherent movie is 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, and it's still
it's a little out there, but like, I love, even, my favorite of his is The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, but even that's a weird movie, but I love it still.
No, yeah. So, but the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to bring in Kelly now, is we had an adventure and are currently in the middle of an adventure with the other counter programming for the boys, My Lady Jane, which is also on Amazon.
Oh, it's so good.
It's very entertaining. It is historical fiction with a capital fiction.
with a large star for a disclaimer.
Yes. So this is I have to set it up in the manner in which we walked into it.
Yes.
So Kelly had heard about this show. Kelly watches the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm walking the dogs. I come back. Kelly pauses it. She's like, I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to pause it. And then we're going to finish it together. I'm like, cool, great, whatever. We pick it up. We start it over again. It's the story of Lady Jane Grey, who is a historical character that I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
And so they have this whole preamble going over, like, this is who she is, this is what happened to her, this is the raw deal that she got because she's a woman in the era of King Henry VIII. So, like, of course she got a raw deal. None of that fucking matters.
Yeah. This is not that.
We're going to change...
What if history were different?
We're going to change the story. So basically this is a woman that came to power as the queen after Henry's son died.
Yeah, she claimed like a technicality, and it was somewhere between her doing this, but also her family and the family she married into were both kind of pushing her into this. So she was technically queen for like a week, and then she got beheaded.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. The usual England in that era, 1500s.
Yeah.
And so the narrator tells this whole story and then is like, but we're not telling that story because that's a boring story and it sucks.
And we're like, ah, cool, okay.
All right, cool. So this is going to be historically fiction. This is going to be what happens if she didn't get killed. Okay, cool. So we're riding along. We're having fun. We're doing this thing. She's, it's the usual song and dance.
Incoming spoilers for anyone who wants to watch the show.
She is going to be married off to this rich relative that is taking care of the family while the dad's been dead. And, she doesn't want to do it, so she's going to get married off into another family, and so she's like, fuck this noise, I'm going to run away.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to bring my, my
maid.
handmaiden.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt my maid who's having sex and I'm going to insist that she comes with me, and we're going to run out into the woods, and then Mom appears, and this was where Kelly paused the show and was like, okay, I'm going to watch this with Alfred. So we're both sitting here, and we're like, okay, cool, great, caught up. The handmaiden turns into a hawk.
And flies off.
There's just no other way to put it. She just turns into a hawk.
And we're like, whoa!
Wait a minute! Hang on! You said revisionist history. This is not revisionist history. So there's this quick moment where the narrator's like, oh, and I forgot to tell you.
Funny story, by the way.
This
There's
isn't
magic.
This isn't just revisionist history. This is alternative history.
Oh my God.
Where there are these people, the poor people of England, are these people that can't. They turn into animals because of their biology.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of weird thing where it's passed down, kind of like the mutant gene.
Yeah.
Except they just turn into one animal, and so they have a lower class system, and they forced all of these people into the woods. And King Henry's whole thing was that he wanted to kill as many of these people as possible, and so now that's become the mission of his children.
So we're giving this fictional story a little scapegoat.
Yeah,
kinda.
literally at times.
Yes.
There's a guy that shows up to steal stuff, and he turns into a goat to run off at one point.
Yeah. So we have watched the first 4 episodes
Yes.
so far.
It
is really fun.
It's really fun. There is definitely a break point when that happens, where it's like being in the ocean, having a giant wave crash over you.
Uh-huh.
You have to kind of get over what just happened and move on, because this is what the entire show is going to be for the rest of the show. And it just keeps on ratcheting up, where we meet characters and later on they're revealed to be part of this race, the Ethians.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like you have the Verity and the Ethians, and the Verity are the high class normal people, and the Ethians are the animal people. And some of them can control their powers, some of them can't. It seems to be connected to things, but it's such a fascinating show, because you're going along, and then all of a sudden these weird left
magic,
turns will happen.
By the way.
And you're just like, huh, okay, right.
Yeah. But the way it's written is really fun.
It is very fun.
There are so few recent works of art in various forms that use modern music in a more historical setting and have it work. So like Great Gatsby did not work. This show, it's working pretty well.
It reminds me of Bridgerton.
Yeah, it's a lot of like covers of classic rock songs by female-led rock groups.
Well,
which kind of rules.
My reaction was, I wish, since we were already so far into whatever this new genre is, I don't even know what you would call it at this point, historical fantasy, have a house band that acts as a Greek chorus that just follows along the plot and plays all the covers.
It's so fun.
But like the characters only acknowledge it in those quiet moments in between scenes. I like The Emperor's New Groove, when Kuzco starts talking to the narration, and it's just like some acknowledgement, sure, but otherwise no one ever talks about it.
Yeah, the narrator continues on through the whole show, which is very interesting. It's an interesting touch.
And it's also interesting because the narrator appears at the start to be telling the story from Jane's perspective.
Yeah.
But his perspective also changes.
Yeah.
To the point where we can hear what other characters are thinking and feeling.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if they're going to do a reveal of who the narrator ends
That's
up
what
being.
I'm wondering if this is going to be an Into the Woods type situation.
Yeah.
I will say it does have that thing that has started driving me crazy, where the main character is given everything she wants.
Oh, God.
And she's like, no, I can't. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you found the perfect person for you who is going to give you everything you want.
Who married you for not the worst reasons.
Who is giving you, like, it's like if House the doctor was given the ultimate medical problem, and he was like, I can't even with this. And it's like,
what
but this is
talking
like
about?
this is like your whole thing.
Yeah.
This is like your whole thing. Why are you angry and upset and frustrated all the time? Just like look around and understand that you won the lottery of life. You get this basically baby Henry Cavill who has this medical ailment, and you're the only person that can help with it. This is everything you could ever want. And you're like, no, I can't do it.
Oh my God.
Oh man, it's also similar to a lot of shows kind of in this like genre or vibe. very sex positive show.
Yes.
Oh.
A lot of scenes of specifically the women receiving the pleasure, which I am not opposed to.
Although there was that one scene of MILF blowjob.
Yeah.
There's
Oh boy.
There's a
MILF blowjob.
There's a the scene of codpiece selection.
Oh.
So that's fun.
There's a lot of scenes of Dominic Cooper going through his own S&M phase with Mary Queen of Scots.
I believe that with Dominic Cooper.
Yeah.
That whole relationship is so fascinating to watch.
It's just these two crazy people being crazy.
Yeah.
And then they add sex into it as another thing on top of everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
And then there's also animal people. I cannot stress this enough. Someone will just suddenly turn into a cat and you're like,
I guess this is here.
sure, I guess. Yeah.
But it's really fun. I'm very excited to see how the rest of the show goes.
We just hit the big twist. So now we're gonna go downhill from here.
Yes.
Not literally, but
we've gotten back to this varies from history a little different to an actual historical thing.
yeah,
that
we're back
happened, but now
well, we still have the other. We have plot A and plot B, and plot A is the historical stuff, and she's dealing with being queen, and then plot B is the fantasy stuff, and you're just like, where's this going? This is weird and fascinating.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
But it's been very fun.
It has been. I've very much enjoyed it. And thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Of
thank
course.
you.
Did you have any other thoughts on Lady Jane that you wanted to share?
I'm all good. I know you have a lot coming
Yeah,
up. So.
Jim Broadbent shows up as a man of many maladies,
Yeah, a lot of character actors,
Yeah.
which is really fun.
but a very good cast. I will also say.
Oh my god, such
really,
a good
really
cast.
good cast. And like again, similar to Bridgerton, they're casting whoever's best for the role, not necessarily these two people because they look alike or whatever.
I got you.
They're casting correctly.
Yeah, so the current king, King Edward, who is Jane's cousin, is a black guy, which
Yeah.
freaking rules.
Queen Elizabeth I is a black woman. So it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I dig this.
It's really fun.
And they still use the costume so you can still tell who is who.
Yeah.
And then you have Mary Queen of Scots wearing King Henry's robe while spanking Dominic Cooper with a knight's glove. So, you know,
It's so good.
it goes
man.
all over.
Sounds interesting.
So anyway, we'll continue to cover that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly,
Nice.
for joining us.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
you.
And then I just wanted to finish off by saying that I started playing Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was making me very happy.
Yes.
And I was enjoying it for a hot second.
Yes.
And then Kelly reminded me that I have a job to do.
Yes. Which, unfortunately, we will get into that in a second. I want to bring up two quick things to finish and just get your ideas on. First off, over these last couple weeks, there was another Blade casting issue.
I think Mahershala Ali's leaving.
I think he is too because I'm assuming he had a bigger role in it because he's not a small actor, but Delroy Lindo is gone from the Blade movie. So it's like...
Man, he would have been a good Whistler.
That's what I'm wondering if he was. And it's like, dude, you're starting to lose so much.
Yeah.
I still don't know if this movie will come out. And now they're talking about potentially them doing a Marvel zombie movie before the Blade movie comes out. And Blade will actually make his introduction in the Marvel zombie movie.
That's fucking dumb.
It's so dumb. Like this.
That doesn't make any
Everything
fucking
is so
sense.
dumb right now with this.
That's so fucking insane.
Yeah.
Why? But why? But why?
2019, he's introduced as Blade, and they have not shot a single bit of film.
Nope.
And
they can't even write the damn thing. It's not even that they haven't shot it yet. They can't write the fucking
And
thing.
keep a director.
Like, what the hell? And I'm looking at The Flash, and I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at Aquaman 2, and I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at Wonder Woman 2, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, tell me that this isn't going to be more of this. Because either this movie isn't happening, or it's going to be a full-on train wreck when it gets here.
Speaking of that, for those of you who don't know, my favorite superhero is Superman.
Yes.
And Christopher Reeve Superman, the original movie, plays a huge part in my life. I think it's not only a great superhero movie, I think it's amazing cinema. That being said, I hated Man of Steel because it's dog shit. I never, as much as I love Henry Cavill, I liked his Superman. I thought his Clark Kent was terrible. And to me, that's as much an integral part of the role as Superman is. In fact, it's more of an important
I was
part
about
of
to
the
say,
role
if
to me.
not more.
So the whole James Gunn reboot of Superman had me concerned but cautiously optimistic because he has done good things, he's done bad things, as being James Gunn. And they're showing the set. There's some rumors coming out, and they're showing pictures from the set of the movie being filmed. Mm-hmm. As far as Superman's outfit, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it at all. I honestly wish they could have done something. To me, I think the best Superman outfit was Brandon Roth's, because it takes the iconic one, but it takes away that spandexy look, but it still looks like the iconic Superman suit. Henry Cavill's, it was okay. This one, I don't really like it. The S is not very pronounced. I mean, it's fucking Superman. You make the S look like an S, make it look pronounced.
It
it's
looks
kind of
more like a diagonal line.
Yeah, it's like a
S.
diagonal line. I don't like the lines on the suit where it's...
Why does his suit have padding?
I don't understand
Why
that
he's
either.
Superman?
He's Superman.
Why does his suit have padding?
Yes.
That is one thing that I saw, and I was like, weird flex. Why would you do that? I
mean,
don't get it.
Christopher Reeve spent like a year in the gym working with Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger and other bodybuilders to bulk himself up to fit in that suit without padding.
Yeah.
You don't need to have padding.
No.
Brandon Roth didn't have padding in his suit. It's just that the suit was a little thicker material.
Henry Cavill didn't have padding in the
Henry
suit.
Cavill didn't have fucking padding in his suit.
No.
And then let's call, for right now until they change whatever the name is, let's call him the new Justice League. You have Guy Gardner, a.k.a. Nathan Fillion, as Green Lantern. You have Mr. Terrific.
That's Guy Gardner?
That's Guy Gardner.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. So the three of them...
That is shit.
Yeah.
Holy garbage, Batman.
But they decided to make the costumes, like, identical, except for the coloring.
Yeah.
And it looks awful.
The Mr. Terrific costume is awesome. This isn't a superhero action figure where you need to make sure that the models are all the same and then you just paint them differently.
Yes.
This isn't the 80s. Guy Gardner has a look, and it's not this. Also, nobody asked you to do Guy Gardner. All of us wanted you to do Hal Jordan.
Yes.
Because Nathan Fillion
Yes.
has been Hal Jordan for over 20 years.
Yes.
So
I don't
why
get it.
does he have a mullet? Why does he have the worst blonde wig I've seen since fucking Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
No, wait, that's not true. Since Acolyte episode 3.
Thank you.
Why does Hawkgirl look awful?
Yes.
Also looks terrible. The helmet's all wrong. The eyepieces are wrong. I can imagine her having wings, and it doesn't help everything else that I'm looking at here. The colors are wrong. The Guy Gardner has a vest. Like, that's his whole thing, is that he has a vest. All right? So this is not a jacket. It's a vest. I just don't get it. Why go through all this trouble?
And looking at this set picture, it might be a vest he's wearing. And
No,
he has the
they're
black
these
sleeves.
These sleeves, if they're not attached, they're supposed to give the illusion that it's all one piece.
Oh, I got you.
But even if it's not, you
Yeah.
have to emphasize it better than this shit.
My biggest concern, though, and I didn't even tell you about the second set. Okay, so let's talk about the first set photo. This is the one I haven't told you about. There is a picture of a squirrel in a glass case.
Okay.
There's a squirrel character of the Green Lanterns.
Yeah. Zippy, or whatever his name is.
So everyone's saying this is probably Zippy the squirrel.
Yeah. Let me get his actual name.
So you have the squirrel, and then there's a picture of a dog that looks a lot like Crypto. And since Chris Pratt has been on set for a lot of the filming so far, a lot of people are saying either he's going to be playing a character in the DCU or he's going to be voicing Crypto.
I'm so sorry. Not Zippy. Chip.
Chip.
So far off.
But it's like, okay, so what is the tone of this fucking movie? If you're going to have Crypto and Chip,
Yeah.
the Green Lantern
See,
squirrel.
I don't mind having Chip because I love the Green Lanterns. One of my favorite things about the Green Lanterns is just this idea that people I've heard on some Dropout shows that the Green Lanterns is the most alien force in science fiction.
Oh, I believe it.
Because like you look at Star Wars or Star Trek, they look vaguely human and then they have something on their face.
Yes.
The Green Lantern Corps is bonkers.
Yes.
So
very
I'm totally down to have Chip in here. I think that would be fun. It'd be like Rocket.
But it's the tone. It's
yeah.
like, it's by having those two characters, it's like, how goofy are they going to make
Well,
this?
especially with having Crypto voiced by Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
It's not like Crypto has a voice where he talks to Superman in every iteration. Crypto is usually just a dog. It'd be like having Ace the Bat Hound, and he's going to have a voice, and he's going to be Kevin Hart, and it's going to be that Super Pets movie, but
God,
not that. No, I don't fucking get this.
I don't either. And I'm very concerned now for this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I am more concerned now.
Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Like, we're so far off.
Oh, that's night and day difference. But I'm super nervous, and I was very much they have a release date. It's July of next year. It is actually like a confirmed release date, not on a poster and everything.
Yeah, well, this is also Discovery Warner Brothers, so we'll see if that confirmed release date doesn't change to suddenly being late next year and then suddenly early the year after that.
Dude, I'm so nervous.
I'm just looking at this, and I'm just... What part of this am I supposed to hang my hat on?
I'm so nervous.
Am I supposed to be excited that you have Metamorpho in here? That would be great if I thought you were going to do it well, but I have no reason to think that you're going to do it well.
And like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, I'm on board with that.
That's fine.
I'm totally cool with that.
There are much better castings that you could have done.
Absolutely, but it's not Jesse Eisenberg, so I'm
It's
fucking happy
fine.
with
It's
it.
fine enough. But, like, honestly, the thing that has done more damage than anything else to my faith is having James Gunn at the head of this, because Guardians 2,
Yes.
Guardians 3, Guardians the Christmas special. Do I need to say anything more?
Yes.
Why would I have faith in him? Because he made a halfway decent Suicide Squad movie compared to the absolute trash Suicide Squad movie, which I want to emphasize is still not as good as either animated Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, absolutely.
This is what I'm saying.
Attack on Arkham is one of the
Attack on
greatest.
Arkham, even Hell to Pay is
Hell to Pay
more
is
interesting
much better.
than anything in James Gunn's. Like,
Yes.
oh, you had Starro. Ooh, wow. You also had not Deadshot for some reason.
Yeah.
So, like, and you had an entire troop that you killed off at the beginning, which nobody could have ever seen coming. And it's just, why would I trust you? I don't have any reason to trust you, man.
And it's like the trust is gone.
It's gone.
Over this last week. And it's kind of depressing because I was really hoping for a good... We have not had a good Superman movie really since Superman 2 with Christopher Reeve. Because as much as I like Brandon Roth's character, I didn't like that movie.
The plot of that movie is stupid.
Because the plot's terrible. I hated the whole, oh, wait, Lex Luthor, we got to do Land again because it's... And I did not like Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane. I never liked her as that. Brandon Roth's the only thing I really liked about that movie. And like the... even Marie Saint as his mom, she was awesome too. Like I enjoyed that. Never liked any of the Henry Cavill Superman ever. Like not one thing with him as Superman did I enjoy.
I liked Henry Cavill Superman until the fall of Metropolis. And then that became like this thing where it's like, okay, now you're going in this crazy direction that Marvel would never go in, so I'm going to give you credit where that is, but at the same time, it's so fully different. Like my favorite, I think I've said this on the show, my favorite moment for Superman is from the Justice League animated TV show. It's from the finale, and Superman is fighting Darkseid because this is DC. Of course he's fighting Darkseid. Basically, Darkseid is making fun of him for caring, and Superman is... Or no, he's making fun of him for not being strong enough. And Superman is like, you don't fucking get it. I live in a world of cardboard. I have to be careful all the time.
Yeah.
So you giving me a chance to cut loose, not going to be an issue. And it's just like, that is one of my favorite moments, is just Superman landing and being like, I live in a world of cardboard. I have to be careful all the time. No one has done that. And then Zack Snyder comes along and he's like, yeah, he lives in a world of cardboard, and he burns it all to the ground. I'm like, wait, whoa, oh, whoa, hang on, whoa, pump the brakes.
Yeah. You know, my criticism of every Superman since then also, what made the original so great, and I've talked to some blue in the face, is that first movie had heart. That's the thing with Superman. Superman is hope. He's everything we want to be. He's everything we hope to be. You know, he's kind and he helps and he's gentle, but he can, you know, be strong when he needs to. And that fucking line that still gets me to this day, where he's talking to his mom and says, No matter all my powers and all the things I can do, I couldn't save him because my dad had a heart attack, and that's something I can't fix.
Yep.
That right there, I don't know where that's going to come from in this movie, and that's what I'm concerned about.
Well, it's not, because everything's going to be a joke.
It is, and
That's
that's what irritates me.
That's the feeling that I'm getting from looking at this. Everything is going to be a goddamn joke.
Because like I'll even compare that first Superman movie to Captain America: The First Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
That movie, it had some humor, but it had you had that hope and that love for that character because he made you feel he's so good and he can be hurt and he can go through these heartaches, but he makes you feel, gives you hope and makes you feel like you could do anything, and that's been missing.
It's all about that moment when Steve's in the alley, not the moment where he grabs the trash can lid, although we all love that. It's the moment right after that where he gets knocked down and he gets up and the guy's like, "Why are you doing this? Just stay down." He's like, "I can do this all day."
Yep.
Cut to the Red Skull. "I can do this all day. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn."
Yeah.
And it's like, God, this is why I love you.
This
This is why I love you.
There was an interview with Chris Evans the other day, and he said his favorite Marvel movie is still The Winter Soldier because he feels like they were still taking chances on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God bless you, Chris
Yeah,
Evans. I love you.
They didn't have a formula that they had to stick to.
Yes.
And I do feel like this smacks of the Marvel formula.
Oh, yes.
Of when in doubt, make it funny. Never have it be too serious. Make it look kind of like the comic books, but not really.
Yes.
And give it like one souped up character that everybody's going to get excited for. Because Mr. Terrific looks amazing.
He does.
He looks so good.
He does.
And then everything else around him, I'm like, ugh, but why does Superman have knee pads?
I don't know. Like, I'm so concerned.
Superman
about
could put in floors for the entire United States and never have to have knee pads on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
I don't get it either.